Hi, welcome back to Nick's Drum Lessons. The lick we're going to go over today is from Eric Clapton's Wonderful Tonight. This is a very underrated groove by Jamie Oldecker. All right, I always have to watch how I pronounce that. But great drummer and very underrated. He did a lot of work in the 70s, 80s, and is still alive today. But very cool props to this guy, all right? So, what's cool about this lick is that the song itself is a ballad. It drones on like crazy, as most ballads do. And drummers usually get very bored with ballads because there's just so much air. And usually producers will say, just hold back and just keep time. Which he does do that in this song, but he does it in such a creative way, which we'll show. So it's in halftime, which means the emphasis on the snare is not on 2 and 4 as most rock music is, it's on the 3. So the emphasis are on 1 and 3 on the bass and snare. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of your catchy 1 and 2, 3, and 4, and 1 and 2. So it's very cool in that sense, all right? So there's the halftime aspect with it. 9 times out of 10, drummers, when they're asked to play in halftime or in slow, they just keep it to an 8th note, 16th note, depending on how you write it out, but 8th note kind of pulse, and it would sound like this. Not very interesting, okay? Why Jamie's work on this song, and actually the whole album, he does a lot of broken 16th notes. This particular one is counted 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. All right, so if you notice, I'm putting a little bit of emphasis on the downbeats. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Put that with your basic bass drum on 1 and snare drum on 3, and all of a sudden it comes together. All right, so already you're halfway there, or majority is there. The open hi-hat he just opens on the and a 4 with a bass drum there, and he keeps the 16th note patterns going. I've covered this song in bands before, and usually I just stop on the and. I don't continue the open hi-hat. I'll give you an example of both and tell me which one sounds better. All right, so in that variation, I kept that 16th note pattern going over the open hi-hat. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. That continued to play. The previous one is the way I always end up doing it, where I just leave off on the and let the open hi-hat suspend all the way down to the downbeat of 1. Neither one is wrong. Do what makes you happy. Learn both ways. Both ways have value to them, all right? Just to talk about the open hi-hat for a moment, just make sure that you open your hi-hat with your toe coming up instead of your whole leg. I spot that a lot with beginners and students. Whenever they do an open hi-hat bark, they lift up on their whole leg, as you can see in the video in my upper right corner, instead of just leaving the heel down and just doing it again. So I'll show it again, but pay attention to that left foot in that camera angle. All right, so just watch the technique there. You don't have to overwork it and lift the whole leg up. Now, once you have the groove, obviously the song is not that hard at that point. There's very few fills, there's a couple breaks in there, but by all means, have fun with it in the sense of start to build it up a little faster, move it over to the ride cymbal with the bell. Sounds awesome. You can start to add a little extra bass drum here and there, especially on the 1, and that sounds really cool with it. So you get it up to a certain tempo and it almost sounds like a Dr. Dre song at that point, all right? So we've gone from Eric Clapton to Dr. Dre. Where else can you learn this, okay? So take a listen to that. All right, so very crafty way to do it there. I also like to add a couple gross notes here and there, and it fills it up quite nicely. All right, very cool. Most of those ghost notes were on the missing E of it. So you've got the one E and there's the missing note on that left. That's what I'm putting the ghost note there. All right, so very cool lick, very cool beat. And again, major props to that drummer, all right? So again, it's Eric Clapton's Wonderful Tonight. If you have any questions, you can contact me on my website, nicksdrumlessons.com. You'll also see the PDF of the beat, so you can download it on your devices or even print it off from there, okay? So until the next video, next lesson, have fun. Bye.